Hi, my name is David P. Shapiro. I'm the owner and managing partner of the law office of David P. Shapiro, located in San Diego, California, where my firm helps good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. One of the ways that you could regain control of your future if you find yourself charged with murder or homicide is if you have a strong self-defense claim. And we had a case at the firm in 2019 where our client ultimately went to trial in 2019, originated in 2018, where our client had a very strong self-defense case. But just because someone has a self-defense case or a defense of others case doesn't mean a jury's always going to see it that way. Thankfully, in our situation, let me get the cat out of the bag now, our client was acquitted outright of murder and voluntary manslaughter charges. He was not convicted of anything, and he was able to resume his career and save his name and save his reputation, and he was released from jail within hours of the jury verdict being read after spending the better part of 17, 18 months in custody while we were fighting that case. But what does self-defense really mean in any case, particularly in a homicide case? Well, let's look at it for a second, right? If it's a situation where you're using an amount of force reasonable under the circumstances and no more than necessary to defend yourself or defend another. So in the case that we had in 2019 that went to trial in 2019, where we obtained not guilty verdicts at trial for our client who was charged with murder, that was a situation where the client had been physically abused and assaulted by the other individual earlier that evening. They were in the midst of a fight, and he felt like his life was a danger, that if he did not pull out his pocket knife and try and stab the other individual, that he himself would have wound up dead. And, a lot of times it's not as simple as just stating that. You really need to paint the picture, and your attorney needs to paint that picture of what that person was going through, what they were thinking, what was known to them at the time. And when you're putting forth the self-defense case, you're afforded a lot more opportunity to get certain things into evidence that you otherwise might not even be allowed to get into evidence if it wasn't a self-defense case. And we were able to certainly do that in the case that we had in 2019. And that did play a long way in being able to get an acquittal for our client who, again, was charged with murder. So self-defense is really important, but just like anything else, it is important to go over that with your attorney, not with the cops for the first time, not on social media for the first time, not with your friends for the first time, but to keep your mouth closed when you're accused of a crime, certainly when you're accused of a crime as serious as homicide, and then discuss those facts or what you were feeling with your attorney, with their guidance to formulate the best defense for you in defense of a homicide, in defense of a murder charge, whether in San Diego or anywhere for that matter. If you find yourself charged with murder, if you find yourself charged with homicide, manslaughter, assault with a deadly weapon, anything along those lines in a realm of violent crime where self-defense or defense of others could be a viable defense to you, reach out to a firm like ours. We're one phone call away, 619-295-3555.